I said to you, this is what will work. If you are a progressive woman and you develop a compelling vision, you become intentional around that vision, you energize that vision, you become the woman who can have what you want, you address any kind of counter intentions, you will have what you want. I'm going to say that again. If you develop a compelling vision, one, that's 90% of the work. Listen to the recording from last month, it's still active. If you develop a compelling vision, now this compelling vision, we're talking about a partner in life, but you can do it with money, you can do it with anything you want, a house you want to buy, a car you want to drive, you can do it with anything. This process that I'm sharing with you is a universal prayer methodology, and it'll work for anything that you want, anything that you want in this world, that is in the world that you value, anything that is going to serve you in satisfaction. It's a universal prayer methodology that can work. Remember, I'm a scientist, I'm explaining spirituality from a scientific point of view. I'm sharing the language of magnetics and attracting into your life what you want, how to have God send you the right person for you. That's what we're doing here. So if you feel like, I'm interested in learning about attracting a spouse to me, but not just yet, you can start beginning to apply it with the spouse. But if you feel that it's more relevant for you to apply it with anybody or anything else, go for it. If you want to attract the staff in your business, if you want to attract customers, clients, if you want to attract friendships, if you want to attract a thing in your life that benefits you, you want to attract things that add to the comfort of your life, you can use it. So, the first thing, and 90%, is a compelling vision. You must have a compelling vision. What is a compelling vision? A picture that is of what you want. It's clearly defined. What is it that you want to have the experience of? You must have a clearly defined ideal experience. In this particular case, your future spousal self, what is she enjoying and living, and what type of marriage she's in. You must have a compelling vision. We've given over the months, especially last month and the month before, extensive support. What is the essence of the marriage you want to be in? What are the features of the man you with? These are questions you can ask yourself. If I get up in the morning and go through the day, what is this partner? What am I pleased about this partner? Being with him and living with him, what is it that I feel cared for? What would be, for me as a wife in a spousal relationship, what would it mean for me to be cared for? What does it mean to be cared for? Now, I'm going to give you a list that I have given previously. So, if you don't know, here's a list I'm going to go through. If you want the list, you can ask me for the list, or in fact, we'll make the list available to people. If you want it, let's not throw pearls to the swine. If you want it, request it. So, this was the group coaching for October. It's there in the notes. If you don't have it, can request it. So, let's say it this way. Okay, let's first put all the facts on the table. The first thing is you need a compelling vision. The second thing is intentionality. The third thing is energizing. The fourth thing is becoming the woman who gets what you want. And the fifth thing is dealing with counter intentions. This is the basic. If you are a progressive woman and you release all your stories about why you're not married or why you married the wrong people, if you realize that all it was is you were not progressive and you didn't have a compelling vision, that you can create a compelling vision, you can become intentional around that compelling vision, you can energize that compelling vision, you can become the woman who ensures that you have what you want. It's an identity shift. You become the woman who has that, And lastly, you deal with any kind of counter intentions. These are the 5 things that really comprise my secret that I'm sharing with you. And so, the compelling vision is basically a picture, a visual, a feeling of the ideal reality, the ideal experience of you as a wife, a spousal relationship partner that is pleasing to you. What is it? This is where you go beyond spousal self unattending and you become spousal self-attending. This is the mistake that women make. They're more focused on, I'm not married, I'm trying to get married, why am I not married? I'm interested in this guy, but he doesn't want me. I had guys interested in me, but they want me for their own reasons. I'm not sure whether they're really good for me. What if they just want me and after they get married, then they expect me to just do things, for them, and I'm not pleased. So, women overthink, I'm not married and I need to get married, and they overthink, is he the right man? They're more focused on the man and where is he, and waiting for him to come, thinking that if the right man comes to me and proposes to me, and if I like him, I'll agree to marry him, then I'll be married. I hope and I wish everything works out. I'm trying to use my mind to figure out, did I make the right decision? I'm wishing and hoping it's going to work out for me, and it seldom does, because that doesn't work. We're saying, as a progressive woman, you can know what's going to suit you as a spouse. You can be future spousal, self-attending. You can focus on, from your true self, what is the inspiration? What do you want to get married for? What do you want to feel when you are married? That you'll be very pleased. What is the finish line for you? What is success for you as a successfully satisfied, spousally satisfied woman? You got to be clear about that for you. And I told you, spousal preferences has 3 components. We have 3 components usually. There's other components as well, but the main 3 components is marital needs. How do you feel safe and contained, allowed and respected, where a marriage doesn't threaten you or your money or your resources, or a marriage doesn't cause you to give your energy to somebody else and their parents, and you have to end up being somebody's maid or somebody's parents' nurse, or you have to end up being somebody else's sex slave, you know what I mean? So you are there and you are seen as a person, you're contained in the relationship, and it's beneficial to you, it's not threatening, it's beneficial to you, it's not detrimental, it's not harmful, you feel safe, you feel secure, you feel allowed, you feel encouraged, you have your life, and you're allowed to live your life, you're encouraged to live your life, you're supported in living your life. Marital containment. Your compelling vision is to have marital containment. A lot of women don't realize, I want to be with a man who, when I'm living with him, I don't have any rude surprises. Next thing I find out, he's got a gambling issue, he's borrowing money from me, speaking lies to me and all that sort of thing. I'm with a man I feel safe with, he's loyal, he's honest, he speaks the truth, I know him, he's not having a triple personality, you know what I mean, or quadruple personality. What I see is what I get. So you can be clear that I'm with a man who's stable, mentally, emotionally. I like that he is educated in certain ways, spiritually, whatever it is. You can focus on what you want. Nobody can stop you. But if you don't focus on what you want and you get mad and you say, he should change, why did God do this to me? You are not clear about what you wanted. You've got to be clear about what you want. It's got to come from the true self. We're going to address this in more detail shortly. The first part of it is being secure, safe, respected, allowed, your resources, your life, supported, you're encouraged, you feel safe, you're not forced, compelled to do something you don't want to do. You don't lose yourself in that marriage. You're not trying to find yourself. You're there as an authority. That marriage respects you and adds to your life. Your married life is an addition to your life. It's an addition to you. You have to focus on that. And you have to see it for yourself if that's what you want. Then comes your love desires. Love desires is, what do you find appealing? What do you admire in the man? What do you find attractive? What do you appreciate about him? These are things that you can usually see and notice about him. You can observe. What qualities? Now, this is the man you want to be with, that will please you to be with. You focusing on the reality you want. You don't have to worry about where he is or if he exists. Just what do you find appealing, attractive, admiring of, that you appreciate in him. You've got to focus, you've got to take responsibility for that. If you can't focus on that, qualities of spousal fitness and all that, which is on the list I'm going to read to you just now. If you can't do that, then you're not developed enough. You're not mature enough. You're not connected with your true self. For the process to work, you must be connected with your true self. You must be developed enough. And, like you might say, I want him to be a man of his word. Because some men, I'll do it, I don't know when, whatever, they're not people of their word. You get what I mean? Might be not punctual. They say they'll meet you at a certain time. They're not there, whatever it is. So you got to know clearly what you want. A reliable man is what I'm saying. Somebody you can rely on, trust. And, once you're in a partnership with somebody and they not playing the game, it can be a very disappointing thing. So what do you want? You find appealing from the man's intellectual, emotional, psychological state, spiritual state, physical state, his body, his health, his lifestyle. Was he married before, not married? Does he have children? What do you find appealing in the spouse that is going to be yours, that you want? If you could choose what you want, what would it be? What's going to add to your life? What kind of man is going to be a friend, but better than a friend for you? That you're going to do with him things that you don't do with other friends or males other than him. This is going to be a man that's going to be with you, intimate and close. You're going to be in the same bed with him. You're going to be intimate with him physically, mentally, emotionally. You're going to, be eating together. You're going to be living together. What is it that you find appealing about him? The last part is your relational values. You got to know your relational values. You know what I mean? What is it that you want to do with him? What activities? What do you want to feel with him? You understand? So somebody might say, I want a man who's financially secure, and you end up getting the man, but you might not say he's generous and he shares with me. You might get a stingy man who's got a lot of money but stingy, doesn't want to part, wants everything from you but doesn't want to give you anything. You get what I mean? So what do you want to be doing with him? What activities? What would be fun? What would be enjoyable? What is being cared for by you? What would you feel cared for in a relationship? What's your idea of he cares for me? You must be clear about that. That not only does he have his own money, but he spends it freely on me. You get what I mean? He's happy to support me, if that's what's important to you. Different people are different. Some people say, look, what's more important to me is ... I got my own enough money for me and for him, but at least he can look after him. So I don't want somebody sponging off me. I want somebody who's financially responsible, somebody who's responsible in different ways. And with him, I feel proud of him. I feel proud the way he communicates. When we go out in public, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed by this man. And the way, I feel around him, things we do together. What are your relational values? What is it for you? How is a marriage or relationship going to add to your satisfaction? What are you not having now with friends and with others that you can have with a husband? What is the essence of the marriage? So for me, it's expression and connection and fun and play and So anyway, that's part of it. We had some other points. I'm not going to reteach those other points. Like with the family and friends, how you want to be with them, what kind of in-laws you want, if you want them, So a compelling vision is so important. Clarity around the experience you want to have that is a satisfying spousal relationship. And you can only do that from the real self. If you're a needy, approval-seeking, trying to belong to other people, you won't be adult enough to know who you are and what's important to you. The key here is, do you know who you are and what's important to you? Do you know what you want a man for? Do you know what you want a husband for? Do you know what satisfaction marriage is going to give you that you don't have now? Do you know what you're going to be doing and be happy that you're doing with him? What psychological, emotional, physical, sexual, mental, financial requirements you have from a man? Are you aware of all that? Or you're just going to get married and say his fault, he needs to change, whatever it is. So let's just, before we talk a little bit more about the compelling vision and who you are, let's look at things that you can want in a person and in a man. And this is not a comprehensive list. It's just some things. One of them is available. A man must be available. That means if he's married to somebody else, he's not entirely available. You get what I mean? Available. He must be there. If he's not there, what's the issue? Or he must be available. If it's a distance relationship, he must be available. This is what I recommend. To what degree is a man available? At least he's available to some degree. Is better than not available. And so available doesn't just necessarily mean physically present, which it also includes physically present. So I was saying to you that we talk about a compelling vision, what's important for you in a relationship. You've got to be very clear about that. And the importance of you as an adult person, if you know what's good for you in your life, you benefiting you'll know what kind of a partner will benefit you, what kind of a husband you want to be with, and you can know friends and in-laws and families and all that. So, compelling vision. Do you know clearly the kind, the type, the essence? What is the marriage for you? Why would you marry? What is the essence of a satisfying marriage for you? What would be pleasing for you? You got to know that. And I was telling you about availability. I was telling you that the man must be available, physically available, intellectually available, psychologically available. You must be able to be present with you. Oftentimes men who are insecure are controlled by the world and trying to control the world. They can be obsessed with making money and making more money, or struggling through life and all that sort of thing. So they might not be available physically, or they might not be available emotionally. They might not have a high EQ. They might not have an understanding of themselves, an understanding of you. They might not be able to comprehend and understand what you're saying. So you got to say, and see in your imagination the feeling experience of what it feels like to have the partner that you have in your life around availability. Somebody that is available to you at multiple levels, not just physical, available to you sexually as well, physically and sexually. Sometimes partners got their own thing going, they're just happy and whatever it is. If sexuality is important to you, any type of intimacy is important to you, then be clear about the kind of availability that you require from your partner. Of course, also see if you are available. If you're available to you, that's great, but are you also available in different ways to a spouse? Somebody who admires you, not simply, but you're too much, but you need to stop being the way you are. You know what I mean? Hey, I can't stand you. You're too quirky, you're too crazy, you're just always happy. Somebody who admires you. You understand? And that's what you might want. Somebody who admires you. What do they admire about you? What do you want them to say about you? What would you want them to say about you? That imagine you hearing and talking to them and they say, the thing I admire about you is this. The thing I value about you is this. I just love having you in my life. You're so secure, you are peaceful, you don't overreact, you are patient, you deal with situations very respectfully. And when you have an issue, you tackle it without being aggressive. you're constructive, you tell me what you can do, what you can't do, you're assertive. At least I know who you are and what you don't hide anything behind my back and get passive aggressive. You communicate, you express yourself. I admire your boundaries. You have good boundaries, you have good communication skills, whatever. You're nice to be with. If I have an issue with you, I can address it. You're not defensive. You're not aggressive, you're not passive, you're active. I admire that you are involved. I admire that me and my feelings are important to you. You're interested in not only taking and receiving, but you're giving and support. What admiration from a spouse? Attention. Somebody might be available physically. They might listen to you and all that. They might even admire you, but they might not give you attention. Attending to you, right? So when we're speaking about attention, we're talking about attending to you. That they're attending to you, they're listening to you, they're understanding you, they're attending to you emotionally, mentally, they're attending. You require something, they're not, you're making me work now for you, why don't you just do it yourself? This doesn't mean you must be completely needy and make somebody take care of you, but attending. Do you want somebody who's giving you attention, who's attending to you? They're attentive. Allowance. Somebody who's allowing of you. Do you want somebody who's allowing? That means they say, you're allowed to be as you are. We don't want to control you. Not only are we allowing of you, but we're accepting of you. They're in acceptance of you. They also, you should be different. You must be different, like how you might be doing with the men, or could be doing, or will be doing, some of you. You must be different. You must be different. You're not in allowance. You're not in acceptance. You're not in appreciation of people while they are as they are. There must be this unconditional regard. You get what I mean? Unconditional love, as I defined it, is allowance, acceptance, appreciation. Appreciation of you, valuing. This is that consideration that I was telling you. It's caring, that support. It's this, seeing that you're a person and that you're a feeling person, and they acknowledge you. They acknowledge what you're going through with them. They're not like, no, it's not me. It's not me. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. You know what I mean? They'll hear you. They acknowledge you. There's affection. Affection. Something you can think about. Affection. You might have grown up without affection, and that could have challenged you to not be affectionate. Remember, everything I'm saying here that you can want in a partner, you must be able to give a partner. You must be spousally fit. Affection. How are you with affection? If you never got affection, you threatened by touch and affection. Affection is like a caring for you. They feel for you, or want you, or interested in you. You are important to them. Affection. There's all kinds of wanting to be close with you. Emotional, sexual affection. Are they sexually affectionate? Or they just come, do their thing, and off they go, expecting you just to whatever, you know what I mean? Affection, demonstrating affection. Is that important to you? A lot of women don't know about these things and don't focus on it, and then they don't get it, and then they complain after that. You must be able to ask for what you want. You must be invited to ask. You don't have to demand, and nor does it mean that you'll get what you want, but to be allowed to ask for what you want, asking for what you want. They're interested in what you want. What do you want? Advising you. Sometimes men might know certain things about things that women don't currently generally know. They can advise you regarding a car, or fixing a car, whatever men do, and all that sort of thing. Change a battery, fix a tire, change a tire. Advising you. They must be of value to you, that they can advise you, maybe in business, maybe in a project you're working with. They must be of benefit to you, that support you as a man, you being a feminine. You understand? The feminine is a receiving. It's like having a man be caring and be caring of you, supporting you. The man can support your autonomy, you and your self-determination, you and your freedom. If a man starts clamping down on you, you know what I mean? Then you'll be like, I can't make a move. He doesn't want me to speak to my friends. He doesn't want me to speak to my mother and father, whatever it is. I can't do what I want to do. Your autonomy, your freedom, when you with the partner, how is he with your freedom? You must be able to see this and feel this. Your adult authority, that you as a self-determining individual, what do you want for you? You making decisions and choices. You making decisions and choices together. Does he respect your adult authority? Your authenticity. Your authenticity. Can you be authentic? Can you really be who you are? Can you really talk about what you want to talk about? Can you be real with the guy? Is he accepting of your authentic nature? Is he authentic and real? Is he in his adult authority as well? So these were 13 points that I put down there in the notes from October. If you don't have it, we can send it to you, no problem. I want to talk about other things about in a relationship that are important. Appeal is very important. If your partner is not appealing to you, what you're doing with them. Appeal means there's some kind of attraction. There's some kind of desirability. That active participation in your well-being, they're interested in you, attentive to you, there's affection. There's that active participation in your well. They're checking up on you. Not in a trying to see what you're up to and sneaking on you and all that. They're saying, are you okay? Where are you? Just checking you're okay. You know what I mean? Some people have a difficulty with people caring for them. They feel very uncomfortable with this kind of caring. That's why I said, if you didn't get your parents being interested in you, you might have become familiar with nobody's interested in you. And that's why you got to become interested in you and allow other people to be interested in you. And then you can have a husband that is interested in you. Companionship, affinity. Okay, so active participation, affection, but like caring for you in that particular way, consideration, checking up on you. Affinity. Affinity. What does affinity mean? Affinity means a closeness, like in your conversation, in your speaking, in your conversational. Do you have things you can talk about? What are you and your husband talking about in your future reality? You know what I mean? What is the conversation about? Are you enjoying conversation that leads us to that affinity, the conversation, the companionship? Is your spouse a good companion? Do you do things together, enjoy your time together? Do you have things in common? Do you have interests? Do you do fun things together? What are they? This leads to compatibility. Do you all match each other? Compatibility. Are you all compatible? Do you all make a good match? What makes you all a good match? Complementarity. If you're good at something, you can add to the relationship in that way. He's good at something, he adds to the relationship in another way. Compatibility, complementarity. To all complementing. I'm just giving you ideas to stimulate your thinking around you being a person who can actually develop a vision for yourself. What about chemistry? When you with that person, do you feel a physical attraction? Do you feel like, turned on? Do you feel when you're with them, like a sexual openness, that you can be sexually free and you can enjoy sexuality with them? Or they frigid, withholding, or in just for themselves? Is there chemistry, an attraction to each other, including physical and sexual attraction? Is there an openness? Like, do they share about themselves, what's going on in their lives? Are they hiding things from themselves, hiding things from you? Is there openness? There's no sneakiness in all that. It's open book, right? That doesn't mean you have to inquire about everything from them and they must tell you everything. It's just that the person is not withholding, the person is not aloof, the person is not hiding themselves, unless you want somebody like that. Joint decision making. Like sometimes a partner will just make decisions on their own. They won't check in to see, I want to do this, what your thoughts about it. Not to say that they're controlled by the other person. Oh, you can't do it. Yes, you can. No, I'm just telling you what I feel like doing. I'm letting you know. You have any objections? What's your thoughts? Let's see how I can address that with you. Joint decision making. Leading to mutual consultation. In Arabic, shura, right? Mutual consultation. This is connection. It's opposite of unhealthy independency. Usually some people in a relationship think they don't owe the person anything. They just there for themselves. They just take from the other person. underdeveloped people can be like that. They don't understand that there is an interdependency in a relationship. It affects both people. Financial support. A woman can want financial support. She can choose a man who can support her financially if she wants to. How important is this for you, and what level of financial support do you require? You might say, I don't mind having a man as long as I don't have to pay for his expenses. I don't mind having a man as long as he pays some of my expenses. I don't mind having a man who pays all of my expenses, whatever it is. What is your level of financial support you're interested in? What about domestic support? Sometimes a man can help you with house-related things if you are in the role of a housewife or not. Can help you with the shopping, washing dishes, drying the dishes, whatever it is, cooking meals, chopping things if that's what you want. How much do you want your partner to be involved not only in your life but in the household? How much are you prepared to give and receive with this partner? What do you want to give to him? What do you want to receive? Some of you might say, I hate cooking. I want a husband who's a chef. I don't want to give anything there. I'll give elsewhere. But in the receiving side of it, I want him to cook. Marry a chef. You can have what you want if you energize it, if you're open to it, if you believe it. You will have what you want. If you energize it, this is if you pray, right? So if you want to have children, how involved must your spouse be in having? Obviously, if you want children, your spouse must want children. If you don't want children, your spouse mustn't want children. If that's where you are in your life. If you have children with that spouse, how much involved do you want them to be? If you have your own children, what is the level of involvement you want the person to be with your children? One of the things that creates problems in relationships is when people don't make requests and don't allow for, the partner refusing. Not all the time is your every request going to be accepted. For different reasons, people might not be able to give you everything you want always. So making requests is important, but allowing the partner to say no. So demands. Do you make demands? Do you have a partner who makes demands? Do you want to have a partner that can handle disappointment, makes requests? If you can't do something, they understand. But not all the time you can't do it. That means you're not available to the partner. That means you're not giving to the partner. But giving and receiving. So if you have a partner that makes demands, if you're a partner that makes demands, that can actually, not asking, not requesting. Entitlement is a major block linked to demands. You should, you have to, you must, you need to. Focus on before you get them what you want. Demanding instructions. Ask for support. Do you ask for support? Or you're making instruction. Nobody loves to be given instructions. Do this, do that. Are they giving to you, demanding, forcing? Sometimes people say, you have to do this. You're compelled. You have to do it. Being bossy is another thing, Take into consideration what kind of nature your partner has around, because everybody has needs, desires, preferences. Everybody wants something from their spouse. If you don't know that, then you're not developed enough. And so people will ask, and you will ask. But the key is asking, not being bossy and demanding. Usually when you don't get what you want, or people don't get what they want, this is what kills relationships, being judgmental. You end up giving a lecture. Other men look after their wives. Other men never say no. Frank is like this. Faisal is like that. And look at how you are. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. Look at my brother-in-law. How nice he is. Suddenly you get all judgy and, the men can be like that too. Suddenly there's the judgment, giving you a lecture, looking for your mistakes. There's no empathy. There can be name calling. Certain relationships, people start you won't believe it, or maybe you might have seen your parents calling each other names, guilt tripping each other, guilt projecting, escalating a demand into aggressive blaming. Here you want to have a skill of de-escalating. When you're in relationships, you must be with a partner who de-escalates trauma, not escalates trauma, you know what I mean? But this is what you can be with an insecure person, or you can be without an insecure person, non-judgmental, non-blaming behavior. They can be screaming, shouting, blaming, angry, outburst, outrage, withholding, pulling the face, sulking, silent, hostile silences, no talking, withholding and all that, just telling you what has been or what can be. There's a place for complaints or protest, and you have to do it responsibly. A passive protest rather than an aggressive protest. Protest affectionately, protest with love, lovingly, kindly. I'm protesting to improve our relationship. So you can protest, like you can toy in South Africa. You can protest in a relationship. I protest. But protest lovingly. You don't have to protest, unlovingly. Direct or indirect offensive to the partner. So this can be things like habits that are annoying. Sometimes people eat with their mouth open. You want to see like the partner's eating habits and other habits, how they eat, what they eat. What is pleasing to you in their habits and what is displeasing that you don't want. Habits that are, some people have not clean habits or dirty habits or whatever it is, smoking and all that sort of thing. What can offend you? What good habits you want. You must be able to negotiate in a relationship. Self-negotiation, like to say, okay, this is what's happening, how you feel about that. No, that's not okay. What about this? I can compromise to this level around this matter. The marriage is never a compromise. Never compromise in marriage. But in a situation around something, there can be a compromise. Negotiation and compromise around certain issues. You must be able to not know my way or the highway. See, bad attitudes in relationships. Are you committed to a satisfactory marriage ongoing? Are you committed to a satisfactory marriage and improving it? People just get married and there it'll be, stuck like that forever. Do you want a partner who knows that you're interested in the quality of your marriage and you're just not getting married for nothing? You're getting married to be supportive of them and to be supported by them. Do you want to continue to improve your marriage? Because the moment you stop improving your marriage, the other partner just protests and then they give up and then it just breaks, it falls apart, right? Partner starts looking elsewhere to get those needs met and all that sort of thing. Can lead to extramarital relationships, infidelity, can lead to divorce. This is what we call that win-lose, that you might think you're getting what you want but you don't give your partner what they want, then you end up losing. It's a win-lose. It's got to be a win-win. People must be in it for the satisfaction of it. If they're not in it for the satisfaction of it, you're wasting your time. So, you're committed to improving the relationship. What about friends and family can tear you apart? If the couple is not bonded, it's very important to have a feeling of togetherness. You must feel that your partner is for you, with you in a relationship. You are with you and your partner, not that your partner is more for his family, the partner is more for his ex, the partner is more for all that sort of thing, his children. You must feel a certain level of connection within that relationship. That's the strength. That the partner is not the parents telling them what to do or the friends telling them what to do. They with you together is a partnership there. That's what a real partnership is about. Couple time. Do you spend time together? How many hours a week are you spending time together? What do you do? Do you do things for fun, play? Do you enjoy yourself? Again, do they give you time to have by yourself? Do they encourage you doing things by yourself? You having your own friends and family time, them having their own friends and family time, and doing things together as well. Finances, you've got to work it out. What are the financial agreements? Who is spending on food, rent, this, that, whatever it is. You've got to be clear about what is it that I want in a relationship when it comes to finances. Your personal philosophy. This is the last one for now. Personal philosophy. What is personal philosophy? It's like, what is your purpose and meaning in life? What are your values? They could be your spiritual beliefs and religion. This is very important. Do you share a certain spiritual philosophy? Are you on the same page? Do they belong to the same religious affiliations that you have? Or are you religiously compatible, politically compatible? You might be somebody who's non-political. Next thing, your partner is all over political and getting angry with you. Why you're not? Or you might be just easygoing when it comes to spirituality, and next thing they're telling you must be like this, and this is right, and this is wrong, and the family is saying, but why is she like this? Why is he not like that? And this and that. And, you know what I mean? So you got to be clear about what cuts it for you. Alrighty. So that's about the compelling vision. Did you get any value out of that? Did you? To assist you getting a compelling vision. But in addition to that, it also, what you want from a partner, it also shows what you have to be able to give to a partner. You see, you have to be clear about you. And I don't see any response. Antonio, your hand is still up. Okay. Amina says that. Okay. Rabia. Okay. Fatima. Okay. Thank you. So,
chat. I'm not sure if you saw
I
it.
didn't say. When you clarify your vision from your true self, when you're thinking about marriage as a delight, when you're thinking about marriage as inspiration, when you're thinking about marriage as happiness, when you're desiring to get married, not that you're thinking, I'm not married, oh no, I'm worried, what if I never get married? It's time for me to get married now, I have to choose a man, some men are showing interest in me, I have to choose. You don't go that route, that here I am now, I'm not married, I need to get married, I'm not married, I'm worried, these people are interested in me, which one do I choose? No, you, while you are as you are unmarried, you're living your life, you're enjoying your life, and you are creating a satisfying married life, and you're focusing on these elements of what feel good to you. That's your true self. You're already enjoying yourself, and you're feeling the enjoyment of this. So this is what it leads to, is the intending. So somebody might be clear about what they want, but they might not intend to have that experience. The intending and living intentionally is very important. This is where you are integrous with your intention in support of your compelling vision. You must be inspired, enthused. It must be our heart's desire. It must come from your true self. When you think about it, it must enthuse you. You must be thinking, wow, I'm happy now. With that, it's going to be so much more happier. And this is amazing what I'm going to be doing with this man, and this man is going to be for me and me for him and all this. And we're going to fulfill our, spirituality by being together and living as a team. Because that's part of what I'm writing in my book. That not only are you an individual with your spouse, but you're a team with your spouse. And together, you are living together life. You understand? It's a team. And you have to develop yourself to foster connection and be available to others. But anyway, I'll speak about that next month perhaps. This is just telling you about you, the true self, you're happy now, and you're focusing on a happier life. You have a compelling vision of what a happier life is with a spousal partner relationship, and you're inspired and enthused. Then comes being intentional. You have an intention, you have an intention statement, and you are integrous to it. That I intend to experience ... in a marriage. You get what I mean? I intend to experience spousal satisfaction in a marriage as I have defined it. I intend to generate an electromagnetic field around me that magnetizes my partner who's ideally suitable to me. He is a great value to me, is the greatest value as a man can be to me, as I am the greatest value to him as a woman can be to him. We are ideally suitable, we really love being together, and we are so grateful for each other in our lives. It is entirely satisfying to be together. So what's the difference between the compelling vision and the intention? The intention is saying, here's the picture, that's a compelling vision, that I am now actively choosing to create. I am going to apply myself for this. This is what I really want, and I'm going to do what it takes for me to do my part. I'm going to energize, that's the next step. I'm going to energize this reality so that I can magnetize the man that's in the world for me. I am committed to drawing to me, with and through God, that ideally suitable partner who is going to serve me in feeling. So I'm going to have this ideally suitable man who fulfills my spousal satisfaction. I am entirely pleased with him. He is entirely pleased with me. And we are really enjoying a happier life. You get what I mean? It must be clear that I am committing. I am determined. This is what I really want. There's a man out there, and I am going to energize and magnetize him into my life, so that for the reason of us enjoying a win-win, mutually spousally satisfying relationship. That is your intention. It must capture the feeling as an essence that I want a man so that I can enjoy my life at a higher level, more than I enjoy my life without him. With him in my life, I'm enjoying life more. I'm really having a happier experience of my life with him. You get what I mean? He is the one for me. He's in the world. I affirm that. The men who don't want me are not suitable for me. The men who want me, who ideally suit me, are for me. Nobody can keep him away. He's there. Only I have not been energizing him and receiving him into my life. It's me who's been keeping him. So the intention, the integrity to follow through, the commitment, I'm doing this. I've made a decision. I've decided to apply myself. I've decided to create a soulful marriage. This is that being intentional. Do you get what I mean? The third part is energizing the reality you desire. Energizing is what is a prayer. You actually not only focus on what you want, but you focus from what you want as if it already is. And you are that person now who has what you want. I'll say that again. You focus, when you energize, in your imagination, you see yourself in the reality you want to be, in that compelling vision that you've decided to materialize. You are now energizing it. You are focusing on the reality you want to live from that reality as the spousally satisfied woman you want to be, having the man you want, and feeling that to be true. If I said to you, here is your ideal man for you, and you meet him, and you already met him, and you lived with him, what would you, we heard our sisters say, look, hear, smell, taste, touch. In your imaginal self, in your multidimensional self, can you step into the reality that already is? Because, this is not the platform for it, but I'm going to tell you again. If you were here on Wednesday last week, when I did the TBR teaching, I told you when you feel good with God, and you feel good with yourself, and you feel good with the potentials and possibilities, you are in the multidimensional. You're not in past, present, and future. You're not in linear time. You're not in the fourth dimension. When you flow energy, you are in the fifth dimension, and you can focus energy. When you start seeing and saying, this is where I am, this is what is happening, this is what I'm living, this is what I'm enjoying, and you feel like it is so, and you experience it like it is so, like it's already happening, like it's now happening, you are actually in the multi-dimensional world, the fifth dimension where you really exist as a non-physical being, and you are tapping into the frequency, the energy of the reality you desire. You're not waiting for it to happen for you to feel it. You're feeling it now, and it's going to happen. This is a very powerful secret. This is the law. The law is whatever energy you're putting out is the reality you're going to get back. You can do it with the man, you can do it with money, you can do it with anything in your life. Focus not only on what you want, but from what you want, as the person who has what you want, being pleased and satisfied. What would it look like and feel like? What you would be experiencing? What would you be doing? See and feel like you're doing it already. This is the secret of manifesting what you want. I call it the secret of manifesting, the secret of prayer. You've gone multidimensional. You're in the reality, energetic essence of it. You are feeling, you are matching the reality you desire. You're already there. You're feeling the reality of that. Don't wait to see it in this world. This world is only a reflection of energy. Remember I told you I'm teaching you secret teachings, truth teachings, not known by everybody. Early Gnostics have known this. The prophets and messengers knew this. They taught you about it. They told us about it. Pray believing you have it and you shall have it. Go within, shut the door, pray in secret. Pray having. Say, God, this is the potential that I have. I want to experience myself being this woman, giving and receiving with this man. And this is the possibility that exists for both of us. I'm seeing it, I'm saying it, I'm feeling it, I'm enjoying it now. You must be able to get into it like it already exists and remain loyal to it every day. See and feel yourself in that reality. Look forward, daydream. Dream that reality. Dream it. If I were now the woman I wanted to be, if I were living the marriage that I wanted to live, what would I be experiencing? What would I be feeling? What would I think is going on here? What would be, and that's where we can begin to see if you can do this. And you can also sense if there is any kind of issue that you have coming up. Like when I say to women who complain that their husbands are not affectionate or not being with them, in a sexually satisfying way, I always ask them, are you open to pleasing and supporting your spouse? Because if you're not giving and supporting your spouse and spousal side, they withdraw, right? They're not interested, they feel, they get disappointed, they start doing all strange things, looking at other women, porn and all that sort of thing, start having affairs and all that. That's generally what happens. So if you're not available to a man sexually and you're not there to connect sexually with the man, that's the first thing I want to see. How open are you? You might be feeling shame, guilt, nobody taught you about sexuality, you didn't learn, your parents didn't teach you, you might be underdeveloped sexually. You might have to learn, read some books. I can give training, I can teach women what men want, require, and all that sort of thing. If you want to know more, I've done some tracks on that, because your fathers didn't teach you what men require, your mothers didn't know what your fathers required, whatever it is. You didn't know, your brothers didn't tell, you don't know. It's inappropriate sometimes to talk about these things. You didn't get this kind of sexual education. So I ask them, are you available to your partner? Are you a woman with a man when it comes to being sexual? Or are you just a girl? Thinking in your mind everything is fine and dandy. You don't understand. The man is not telling you. Or maybe the man is telling you but you can't hear. He's just telling you, it's going over your head. You can't understand. You're taking it defensively. So always find out, are you available attending to this man? If he's withholding from you, have you been withholding from him? They say, no, I'm available, whatever, I'm okay and all that. I say, okay. So then I ask them, how do you feel about you? How do you feel about you, about your appeal and your attractiveness? So 90% of the time, that's where the problem is. I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me. Nobody will want me. I feel ugly. I need to look like that. I told you, as long as you are clean and you are neat, look after yourself, you groom yourself, you got a good sexual attitude, you can be round as a ball. Now, not encouraging you overeat and become obese, but you can be as round as a ball and you can have a man really enjoying being sexual with you. Because you are giving and you are comfortable with sexual, you believe that somebody can find you appealing. If you have an issue, you judge yourself, you judge your body, you're going to create somebody in your life. So if a part of your compelling vision is sexuality is very important to you, as I know for some of our students it's important to us, I know that. They've said it previously. And it's fine, it's normal, it's natural, it's actually honest to be honest about that, it's good. And instead of feeling deprived and frustrated, if you're a self-depriving person, if you're not into pleasure and all that, then you might make do without physical and sexual affection. You understand? So, but generally, if you're healthy, you got energy flowing through you. There's pleasure to be enjoyed in spousal sexuality. And if a couple is not into sexual connection, they're missing out a very big part of a relationship. You understand? If they're not fun to be with sexually, then there's issues. That relationship is going to somehow is not operating with 4 wheels on the car. One wheel is missing. If any other wheel falls off, then that car is not moving. No car can move with two wheels. You understand? There was a car, the Citroen, it could move on three. It had four wheels, but could move on three. And there are some cars that move with three wheels in Italy and all that. But generally cars have four wheels. If sexuality is not there, you're moving on three wheels. If some other part is not there, that car falls off. It doesn't work. So my point is, when you start energizing what you want and you start feeling, but I don't think I can have this, doubts will come up in you. You want to address these doubts. This is what I call counter intentions. Nah, I doubt it. This will never happen. Not happen for me. Your doubts will come in. Your lack of belief will step in. Satan will whisper to you. Your objections will come in. But I'm not pretty enough. No man will want me. No, I'm not desirable. I'm too dark. I'm too fair. I'm too thin. I'm too skinny. I'm too this. I'm too that. We're not that rich. We're poor. Whatever it is, nobody will want me. All these ideas that you have from the tribe and from your own mind, the doubts, because your father never told you you're pretty, your mother didn't tell you you're good looking, you didn't know that about yourself. You compared yourself with people in the magazine or on television or something like that, models. You start thinking strange things when you were little. I'm too tall, I'm too skinny. There's different strokes for different folks. For who you are, there's somebody who can find you attractive, who really wants you the way you are, by the way. You might not believe it, but it's true. So that's where we look at counter intentions. Like, I'm afraid. It's not true. It won't happen for me. I don't believe it. What if it doesn't work out? We're going to look at counter intentions and all that in more detail as we go forward. But the main thing here is your compelling vision. That's the main thing. Your intention. Your decision that this is what you're choosing, and you're energizing, remaining loyal to the feeling of it. Counter intentions is last. Before that, I said to you, becoming the woman who allows yourself to have that. You want what you want. You got to make sure you become the woman who has that. If you want all those things, what do you have to be to have all those things? If you're saying, I want a partner to please me, are you open to being pleased? Are you open to enjoying a marriage? Do you have certain unresolved issues that you've got to work through? That you're not into joy, joyfulness, enjoyment, pleasure? Are you willing to give, support connection with somebody else? Are you prepared to be with people and be yourself and not lose yourself in a relationship? All these things is required of you, and we'll talk more about that as we go forward. So I think I've fulfilled my objective for today, which was to give you a bird's eye view. But there's one last thing I must say, is the true self and the vision. I think this is perhaps the most important thing about the vision, and we know how important the vision is, so listen very carefully. If you're coming from your true self, if you're a happy woman, and you're open to being happier with a man, you will know what that happiness will entail. I've given you a lot of ideas to think about, but this is something only you can, from your own authenticity, speak of. When I ask you what is it that you want as a spouse to have the enjoyable experience of, what features would suit you in a man that's going to serve you in being happier than you currently are without a man, you're either going to be connected to your true self or you're not going to be connected to your true self. If you're not connected to your true self, you're just going to be like a child. He must have money, he must be nice, you'll be like, he mustn't upset me, he must make me take care of me. You'll give very generic ideas. Because there's no true self there. If you're a woman who's wanting everybody else's approval and needs to belong to people, and you're living your life, you don't want to be a bad girl and all that sort of thing, you won't be there for you, a progressive woman, and you won't be really in touch with you and what's important to you. If you're a progressive woman, you're in touch with your spirituality, you'll know, me, I'm a peace-loving person, I'm into ease, I'm not into drama, I want a partner who is spiritually grounded too. You get what I mean? If you're a person who's connected with God, you'll know how important it is for you to be with a man who's connected to God. You don't want to be with a needy, greedy man. You don't want to be with a man who is, just busy, lost in, tribalism, ritual, unless that's what you want. If that's your thing, then you go for that. You get what I mean? But if you're really into peace and to knowing the love of God, and you know that you're here for a reason and a purpose, and your afterlife is important, then you want a man who's going to be that way inclined and be interested in his afterlife. And together you will be discussing God and religion and learning and drawing closer to God together, worshipping and praying together. If that's important. Now, if you're not into your spiritual well-being, you will never think of that in a million years. Understand? If you're not selfful, like okay, I care for my mind, I like reading books, I attend classes, I like a man who's reading books, attending classes, or maybe even, does courses, or, whatever. I like a man who uses his mind, is personal development orientated. If you are like that, if you are interested in how you feel, you say, I want a man who is enjoying himself too. I like enjoying myself. If you're eating healthy and well, and you like cooking healthy and supporting of wellness and all that, you say, look, I'm eating healthy. I don't want a man while I'm cooking healthy. He says, where's my oily oil? There's not enough oil in this food. More oil, and that's just going around his heart and all that sort of thing. If you are conscious of you and your fitness and your health and all that, you'll be able to say, look, I want a man who is interested in his health, because that'll be more fun together. We're going to be eating together. Let's eat food that, when I'm eating, I eat for pleasure, but not all the time. I don't want to watch this man just eating for pleasure all the time, getting out of shape and dying early, leaving me a widow. I don't want a man who's going to stress and strain, give himself a heart attack. Overeat, clog his arteries, whatever it is. If you're a person who's living consciously, you're progressive, you're here with God, you're here with you, your mind, your body, your life, how you feel. You like recreation, enjoyment. You're into pleasure, different types of pleasure, sexual pleasure. You want a man who doesn't say, hey, you're a nympho, you're only talking about that, you only want that, just leave me alone. And, you want, if you're into healthy sexuality, you want a man who's into healthy sexuality, that you can enjoy healthy sexuality together. Health in all areas of your life, including sexual health. You don't want some pervert, with you and all doing, and you like some sex slave and all that, used for somebody else's gratification, and the guy's doing strange things by himself with other people and all that. No, you got to be into health. If you're healthy at all levels and dimensions of your being, you can focus. This is who I am. This is who's going to add to my life. This is what my life is about. This is what I do. I want a partner who's accepting of me and what I do and support of what I'm doing. He might be complimentary to me in this particular way. He's satisfying to me in that particular way. He's compatible to my life. Because I know who I am and what I'm about. So I know what kind of partner would suit me. This is not coming from a child just wishing and hoping. This is you, aware of you. You self-attending. You life-tending. You know what you like. You know what you want. You know what's important to you. You know what this marriage is about. You've seen drama and trauma. You've seen people get divorced. You know what it is to get divorced, some of us. You know what I mean? You know that what is it that is going to make a marriage work? What is it that's going to satisfy me for who I am? This is what is caring for me. I expect a partner. What I expect from a partner, put it down. This is what you expect from a partner. This is what I expect from a marriage. Put it down. Write it down. Get clear. This is who I am. If I have a partner who's not like this, it's going to be disappointing. If I have a partner who doesn't support me in this is going to be... These are the deal breakers. If a partner is not health conscious, spiritually health conscious, physically health consciousness, sexually health conscious, it's a deal breaker. Unless for you it's not important. Like for you, what's important for you? You don't have to follow my spousal preferences or spousal preferences of others. You got to know what's important for you. You can't just end up getting there and then saying, but he's not the way I want him, he should change. Why? Let's take him for counseling. That's the old school victim blaming mentality. We are talking about you own the power, take responsibility, create what you want. So, you got your friends, you know what type of people you hang around. Your partner, what type of person is he, who he hangs around. Does he hang around drug addicts? Does he hang around victims? Is he trying to save the whole world? Is he, does he have good associations? Like, what kind of person? Is he progressive? The more clear you are about you and you coming from your true self, then you can begin to write down a compelling vision that really is suitable for you. That's not just thoughts out of your head, you're just pulling it out and writing, that'll be nice. This is what you want from your true self, for your future spousal self. This is you clear. And this is where when you become aware of it and then say, yes, this is what I want. Yes, this is, then you can go into from the compelling vision, you can have the intention. And that's when you can energize it. That's when you think about marriage, it seems like the next part of your happiness, the next logical step. I'm like this, but with my partner, this will be there. You'll be able to feel into your potential. The key here is the potential that exists, that only you as a real self and as a true self and as an authentic self can connect with. If you're not in your adult authority, if you're not an adult woman and understanding that what do you want as a woman, as a spouse in a marriage, if you're not there at that level, you can't realize the potentials that are there. You can't get into the inspired desire, the yearning to experience that whoa, that would be awesome, that would be great. This whole thing comes from the true self, and it's all about being authentic of you and who suits you, and you must be able to see that potential and feel into that potential, that that's possible and that's what I want. From where I am, I'm happy. This is going to take me to happiness. That I'm here, I'm so happy in my life, I don't need anybody to make me happy, I'm already happy. But you know what, if I came home and I was with a partner and these are things we did and he was like this and this is what I admired in him and I felt safe with him, oh my word, how much more different would my life feel in terms of happiness. My satisfaction would be expanded. Not my security, not my happiness. My satisfaction would be expanded. Not my joy, not my joyfulness, not my enjoyment. Not my joy, not my joyfully applying it. My enjoyment of life would be expanded. So I want to say this again, and I'm going to end with this. It is very important for you to be able to see what's important for you, that you can have, that you want to have, that you're yearning to experience, that you'll be able to say, wow, I'm like this, and if I had a partner like that, it would be so much more enjoyable. You understand? You must be able to see where you are and who you are, and how that partner adds to your life. And it must be the next step of your satisfaction, from personal satisfaction into spousal satisfaction. If you can see it and feel it as you energize it, this is your potential within you, it's you, and you're going to expand into this next level of you. So that's why it is ecological, if I have to say it that way. That's why it will happen, if I have to say it that way, because these are your potentials that you have neglected. These are your possibilities that are calling from within you. This is what God put within you to own and express and appropriate from Him. That who are you really in a marriage that you want to be? See? And can you begin to get into that? Because when you're thinking about marriage and which man, you can't get into yourself, you can't get into your imagination, you can't get into what's the next step. Like I told you, I wanted to create the track Soulful Love. I knew that I had experience working with women. I knew I had experience working with women in relationships, all kinds, before, during, after relationships, and so on and so forth. I knew I had potential. But I wanted to create a body of knowledge I wanted to create the track Soul for Love teaching. But I also knew that I had to go through a pilot program to develop all this material, to put it together. I also knew I had to do that. And I went through this development, and I'm telling you, I want to become the course king of Africa. But I feel that from the knowledge that I have, if I package it and make it available to the right woman will value this, and the right woman will use this, and the value that they're getting out of this is more than the money they're paying me. Do you understand? You can get married. A wedding dress can cost you 50,000 rand. You haven't paid even 10% of that in this many months as part of the pilot program. You get what I mean? So you can spend 50,000 rand on a wedding dress. You can spend thousands of rands on a wedding cake. You can spend thousands of rands on a venue hire, on music, on whatever it is, on other things. You can spend hundreds of thousands of rands, including on your recording of your wedding and all that sort of thing. And 6 months down the line, flop. But here, you're getting the knowledge, you're investing in yourself, you're making sure you're doing this correctly and properly. And you'll have what you want. And it's an investment into moving forward with certainty, with confidence, with clarity. So that's where I'm going to stop today. It's about 4:30. Thank you so much for being part of our time together, and for being participatory, those of you who participated. And although I stop here officially, the floor is open for questions, for sharing, for support. Floor is open. How can I support you? The vision. So it's important for you to give thought to your future spousal self-satisfaction. There's a you that's living a currently unimaginable life in marriage, and unrecognizable to your mother and to you. And that's the you want to tap into. So when you connect with your true self, when you connect with your authentic self, and you sit with pen and paper and ask the question, if I were married and I was, what type of marriage would I want? That's why I asked that question. What type of marriage would I want? So I told you the only reason to get married is for spousal satisfaction. I don't know why else you would want to get married. Marriage is about spousal satisfaction. So the answer is, I want to enjoy spousal satisfaction. So what does that mean to me? It means that I'm happy as a person, but with this other person in my life, I'm happier. So what's different with that person in my life? What's different? What makes me happy? I'm happy now. What makes me happier with that person? That's your vision. That I'm happy now by myself, but with that person, what are my spousal needs? What are my spousal preferences, my marital needs, my love desires, my relational values? Like, with that person, it feels so nice to know that somebody is caring and considerate, is interested in me and my well-being. Now, as a grown-up person, it really feels good. Now, some people just take it for granted and they feel entitled to it, so they don't stop to appreciate. When a man is attentive and is saying, "You okay? What can I do for you? This is how you can handle that situation. I care about you." When a man is showing interest and caring sincerely, he wants good for you, he wants good for your life. A lot of women, they can't recognize that. And they can't appreciate that. And some will just take from that man. But that's what we're saying here. Can you become a woman? Can you see yourself as a woman who's enjoying and valuing a man who's interested in your well-being, in your wellness, in your wealth? He's there for you. He's there for you and how you feel. How does it feel to be with a man who's interested in your well-being, your wellness, and your wealth, and your wonderful afterlife? How does that feel? That there's a man, he's there, with him you're safe, with him, he's trustworthy. There's not going to be any using of you and abusing. He's not there to take anything from you. He's not there to gratify himself with you. You're not an object to him. he really is interested in you. Now, a lot of women, they can't recognize that because they're underdeveloped, right? They don't realize, wow. But as an adult person, it feels wonderful. This is a privilege that we can have, to have a member of the opposite sex that we admire and appreciate really be caring to us, that we feel that our needs, our desires, our preference, this person is not just there for themselves. This person wants to understand us, and this person is into our satisfaction. You understand? You're safe with them, they care about you, they're encouraging your individuality, they want you to have you and your own life, and they're there to support you in what you require from them. You know, if you want to feel understood with them, you feel understood when you speak to them. If you want affection of all kinds, they're affectionate, whatever. You know, a healthy adult woman can value these things. But a woman who's clueless, never saw her mother love, never saw another woman love, doesn't love herself, hasn't educated herself, she won't see this. A man will be blatantly using her, abusing her, treating her like shit. She'll be like, let's get it on. You know what I mean? She's underdeveloped. It's familiar. The abandonment of childhood, the betrayal of childhood, the lack of containment is familiar. This feels normal. This is what she wants to repeat. That's why I say, got to go through a learning, growth and development. Got to see the past, where we're coming from. Got to address it. Got to wake up. Got to learn to care for ourselves. Got to provide the containment. Got to have boundaries. Got to have limits with people. Got to tell people, I'm not here for you all of the time. Whenever you want anything, I'm here for me. I'm a person too. And then when you have a person says, hey, he allows me my space. He allows me to do. He's not controlling. He's not forceful. He's not demanding. He's not making me be his maid. He's not making me be his prostitute. He's not making. He's allowing of me. He's telling me his needs, his desires. He's asking for what he wants. He's a decent human being. You see, now women don't know that. They'll just choose a man. Is he the right one in their head? Is he the right, how much money he got? What car he's driving? You know what I mean? Where does he live? That can also be focused on, but the first thing is the guy considerate? Is the guy considerate of you? Is the guy caring? Is he sincerely interested in you? I mean, if that's not there, and how many of us just go into a relationship because she looks good, he looks good, you know, this and that, and then we realize, hey, I'm with somebody who's not emotionally developed. Then we're like disappointed. So that's why I'm saying to you, you got to sit with pen and paper and give this the time it deserves. That if I were in marriage with a partner, what is it that I want to feel that I'm not feeling now? How would me being in a marriage benefit me now that I'm not benefited? This is getting a clue to your spousal satisfaction. What am I not experiencing now as a single person that I could be experiencing as a married woman that would make me consider marriage, that I would say yes to? So back in the day, they used to do research, and they asked women, if you had a man who could provide for you, would you marry him? And 99% of women would say yes. Today, when they give the same survey to women and they say, if there was a man who could provide for you, would you marry him? A lot of smart women say no. Being provided for is not our, taken care of now, is not our highest value for some women, smart women. So what do you want? So women say, we want to be with a man who understands us, progressive woman, who is, we can be partners with in a relationship, who we are compatible to, who compliment us. I'm not saying just say good things about you, which is a good thing too. Somebody compliments you, validates you, tells you what you like, what they like about you. That's a great thing, and you can do that for your partner too. What I admire about you, validate you, compliment. But I'm talking about being complementary to each other. That one partner has got talents in one area, the other person got talents in other area. They both bring these talents to live together as a team. Not one partner says, I got my talents for me, your talents are for me, my talents are not for you. You just stay there by yourself and carry on. And that poor sod just sits there, okay, you know what I mean? So women today in the world, I'm talking about progressive women, they want more than somebody to provide a roof over their head and food for their babies. As long as it's a good provider, they used to marry before. But today, women want more than that. Now you got to ask yourself, what kind of woman are you? Are you a progressive woman? Are you giving to yourself what only you can give to you? Do you recognize God is giving to everybody what you can't give to you and you can't give to others and others can't? Right. Now, what can somebody give to you that you want to receive from a man? So the man is a person, he's a personality, he's a spiritual being, he's got a mental life, he's got an emotional life, he's got a behavioral life, he's got work, he's got a contributory life, which is work, profession, and so on and so forth. A man has got a financial life, how he manages himself, his energy, his time, how he manages his money. Is he responsible? Is he progressive? He's got bad habits. Men are like women. Women are the same, right? They're exactly the same thing. But you're a woman, I'm talking to you about men. So what I'm saying to you is, you've got to take pen and paper and every day sit and reflect. Say, I intend. If you don't know what else to do, I intend to uncover my ideally suitable experience of marriage. I intend to uncover my spousal satisfied self. I intend to become aware of that version of me that is an entirely satisfied wife. I intend to discover what spousal preferences I have. You can start there. Sit with a pen and paper and say, I intend. If it's tough for you, if it's not easy, you can just take a pen and paper. Like when I asked early on, our sister said, this, she fired it off. So she giving thought to it, she's in a true self. But if you're having a difficulty, take pen and paper and say, my intention, I am determined, I have made a decision to uncover what my spousal preferences are. What in marriage is going to be suitable for me, that I'm going to be very pleased in that marriage. What is it that I want to experience, and what are the features of that man who is going to serve me? See, what do I want to feel and enjoy and live, and the features of that man? What is the essence of the marriage I want to have? What is the feeling experience? And for me, it's spousal partnership and enjoyment of life together. That's what it is for me. Spousal partnership and enjoyment of life together. That we gel, we give caring willingly to each other, meeting each other's needs willingly when we can easily do it. We're suitable for each other, and we really, find it appealing to be with a lot of chemistry. Like, I'm really happy the person is with me, and that person is happy that I'm with them. They express that happiness, I express that happiness. All my relational values are met. These things are very important to me, and I'm enjoying it. As a man, what's important to me? As a woman, what's important to you? You've got to be very clear. But so you can start off with, I intend to get clear. I intend to create a compelling vision of my ideally satisfying marital life as an ideally satisfied spousal self. You can intend. But you sit and you give thought. You take pen and paper every day. You start putting down thoughts. Thought. This is this. You start seeing other couples and you're saying, okay, what do I like? About them. You might see something on television, say, that looks nice. You start focusing on what are the features in a man that I would like. What would it serve me in? How would I like to feel? So you give thought to it, and ideas will come to you. Your true self will come forward, give you information. I gave you in the very first pilot seminar, this is what you can do. What is it you don't want? What is it that you do want? Convert your don't wants to do wants. What is deal breakers? What is deal makers? You sit for a few minutes every day. As you're going through the day, give it thought. If I were married today, and I was happily married, what would I really be pleased about? As you go through the day, take out your pen, your page. I have a dictaphone, I'll make a note on it. You have a phone that you can make a note on your phone, voice note. Just make a note that this is my compelling vision. I'm going to come up with ideas and add to it and add to it and add to it, until I'm satisfied that this is the vision. I've got all the very important deal makers, I got all the very important deal breakers. It's all written there. I'm very clear about me in marriage, of what is a satisfying, fulfilling marriage, what is a suitable spouse to me. I'm very happy, and why am I very happy? You clear it, you clarify, and you write, until you've got like, okay, this has the most important things here. I think I've got most of it here. Once you got the most of it, that's where your intention statement comes in. That's your intention statement. That's when you go into being intentional. You're saying, right, I'm clear about what I want to experience as a satisfied spouse, the marriage that I want to be in. I'm clear about it. Now that I'm clear about what I want to experience, I'm intending to create that experience. I've decided, I'm committed. And then you write it out in a statement that I intend to attract an ideally suitable man with these following features, to serve me in having the experience of these experience. This is what I'm feeling, and this is why I'm feeling it in this marriage. This is what I want a marriage for, and this is what a husband is supporting me in. He is the right guy, and what makes him the right guy for me to feel this way, that I'm really enjoying being married. I'm really pleased. I feel extremely blessed in marriage. Why do you say you're extremely blessed? What is it that you're experiencing, what you are feeling, and what is it about your partner that you really admire? So that becomes your intention statement. So of all these ideas you have, maybe you'll write 1 page, 2 pages, notes, whatever. Then your intention statement, you will say, I am thoroughly enjoying being in a mutually satisfying spousal relationship, enjoying the essence of connection, playfulness, fun, enjoyment, appreciating life together with my spouse, who is, kind and considerate, and my God-given ideal person for me. He is ... And that's your intention statement. I intend. Once you got your intention, then you will energize every day. Now this wouldn't be hard work, because if you're really yearning and you're saying, this is where I am now, and what would be my life if I had that? How would my life be different? This is not far away from you. This is your next step. If you are now here and you are now being with somebody, so you're spending time with somebody, you'd have his name on your phone, he'd be phoning you, you'd be phoning him, and you'd be enjoying the conversations, he'd be checking up on you, you'd be checking up on him, you'd be looking forward to being together that evening, and what you'd be doing. When you look at him, you feel blessed, and he's not like, where's my slave, make my food, he'll be saying, wow, today I'll help you prepare a meal, today we're going out, today, thank you so much for cooking that lovely meal. I'm really grateful to have you. You feel appreciated, you feel valued. What's important to you? To feel appreciation, to feel valued. Some of us, but our parents didn't tell us they value us and appreciate us. I feel very uncomfortable with this. That's why you have to grow through you telling you that. And then you'll have your spouse telling you that. Because you are giving you that, your partner is a reflection of that caring for you, that you are. That somebody is there with you, and life is just even more enjoyable than what it was with your spouse, and you are what only a spouse can give you. You are enjoying that, spouse. That I told you the things about spouse. I read a list out for you earlier, and some of the things that I put there. It's so lovely to be part of a team, to face life together, to learn, grow, and develop, to have somebody supporting me, to support me mentally, psychologically, physically, sexually. It's so lovely, to have these human God-given needs met, and enjoying life with that satisfaction. So the key here is you take responsibility for your spousal satisfaction. What is it? And energize it. And then you will draw a partner who will fulfill you. That is the law. So It's about you being inspired. When you start thinking about this every day, a smile must come on your face. And you remain loyal to that reality. That if I was going home today to meet my partner, and today this is what we're going to be doing, that's so much of fun and enjoy, and this is what we do, and this is what we talk about, and this is our conversation, and this is our companionship. And if that's important to you, if that's not important to you, I don't know what is important. Put what's important to you. You're going to be with the guy. What are you doing with him? What do you all do together? Do you spend time? Do you enjoy each other? At the time of COVID, a lot of people couldn't stand to be with their husbands and wives. Divorces were taking place, and they just can't stand each other, husbands and wives. They like going away to work, flirting with other people, doing all sorts of other things. Come back, just tolerate the spouse for a little time, go to sleep, and just go back to work, and overwork for nothing and all that at night, because people can't stand their partners. Can't stand them. They created it unconsciously. So when you get to the point of taking time, journal, writing it down, getting enough information that you have an essence of what the marriage is for you and the features of this person, you write it down, the intention statement, and you decide that I will create this, I'm creating this, I'm going to have this. And then you energize. You see yourself as that woman. If I were that woman, I'd have a ring on my finger, I'd be Mrs. somebody, and how would I be happier being Mrs. somebody than being Ms. me? Instead of being Ms. me, how would I be happier being Ms. somebody? There'll be a me there, don't get me wrong. What am I looking forward to? How is my life better being married than not being married? Not from somebody must take care of me and pay all my bills, but from, I'm okay, I don't need a man, and I'm okay, but I have a man who's caring for me, who's paying my bills, if that's what you want. A man who's there for me, I feel contained. I'm in my feminine containment by a masculine. Some women are too in their masculine. They keep away containment. They want to provide the containment for their husbands, which is a man also requires containment. A man needs to know his wife is loyal. His wife knows how to conduct herself with other men. His wife is faithful. His wife is attending to him. These things provide containment for a man. If a man doesn't have these things, then there's no containment for him. He feels let down and disappointed. He shuts down. You know what I mean? So I trust that answers your question.